everyone. My name is Zeta Ceti. This is Green Rush Revolution. We are here live at MJUnpacked 2024 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm here with John Tucker with Telarius.
How's it going, man?
Good,
it's going
man.
great,
Good.
Yeah.
Tell us a lot about Telarius. What do you guys do?
Yeah, so Telarius, it's Telarius, also National Security Transport, right? And so what we've done, we do end-to-end cannabis transportation. So we're working with the dispensaries and the cultivators. We're moving their cannabis cash. We're moving their product transportation. So on the cash side, right? We're for the dispensaries, we're moving their cash from the retail to the bank, and then also for cultivators, we're moving the product from their facility, their grow facility, and then it's also being distributed to their dispensary partners. Or if they have their own dispensaries, we'll move to their dispensaries.
Right, so it's all transportation logistics of products and cash. And so do you guys have state licensed transport? You have your licensed transporters within each state, correct?
Exactly, yeah, and the licensing process is crazy, right, as we know that. So each state's his own animal, his own monster. So yeah, we're in 30 states right now. For cannabis cash transportation, we're licensed in 5 states for product transport. But what's so great about what we're doing right now in New York and New Jersey area, we're building out a marketplace. And this marketplace is going to connect the dispensary partners with the cultivators. So instead of these guys going out there trying to figure out and trying to meet each other, we're going to bring them together as a form of a distribution marketplace network. So we're still building that out, going through the licensing process, as you know. We were looking to launch that in June, but probably going to be somewhere maybe third quarter.
So is that like an online platform or directory in which people can like communicate with each other and things like that? Is it free or?
Well, we're working out all the logistics and the nuances and the pricing and the rest of it. But yeah, it's going to be a directory that can virtually they can connect with each other. Because in New Jersey, for example, we're either already partnered with or we're about to sign up a lot of these dispensaries because we're working with these dispensaries as they're just getting open for the most part, and we're partnered with a lot of the MRB-friendly banks around here. Nice. So we already have those connections to the dispensaries, and so for cultivators, we can help them out in terms of getting them directly connected to the dispensary owner. And just making those connections and helping to get the cannabis network continuing to
build
flow
it out
and circulate. Yeah.
So let's talk about like transportation logistics a little bit. Obviously it's security is it's a high risk situation, especially handling cash, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would imagine you guys got like standard operating procedures associated with that. You got maybe tactical response teams just in case something happens. Tell us a little bit about that part of the business.
Yeah, on the cash side. Yeah, so it is its own. It's one of the reasons we separated the portfolios, right? Because here's another thing: you cannot have cannabis cash and product in the same vehicle. So you got to have, with cannabis cash, we use unbranded Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans. We don't even have our logo on there. So when we're coming to pick up a dispensary owner's cash, we keep it discreet. So anybody that's out there that might be potentially casing out the location, they don't know what that white van's out there doing. And on the product transportation side, we use refrigerated vans that can go as low as freezing on there. So we keep the inventory protected, especially as we get to the hot summer months, right? But on the cash side, we use 2 former members of law enforcement that do the actual servicing. Okay, so we're going to have one guy that's in the vehicle driving, and the other guy is going in and out of the retailer, and that just helps to boost service quality, safety. So if there's any perpetrators out there, right, like potentially casing us out, they want to do something, you got one guy watching, and he can alert that. But if you have one driver doing everything, that can become an issue.
It's problematic.
It's problematic because if he's trying to get the change order in and out of the change order from the truck to the location, right, or trying to pick up cash, he cannot see who's casing them out. So we use that 2-driver model, and they're 2 former members of law enforcement, so they bring a certain level of professionalism, competency to the area. We're not just hiring guys who were at Burger King last week, putting a gun on them, and there's nothing wrong with Burger King, by the way. But we bring a certain level of security and professionalism to the market, and so that way, when a dispensary owner outsources their cash management, they can focus on growing their business and not babysitting the armored carrier, let's say.
Right. I mean, is there some levels of like loss prevention tactics and things like that associated with transfers? Obviously cash is, and working with the banks too, I would imagine that's really good having that, because banking is really difficult, or has been difficult to get. I mean, it's easier now than it was like 5 years ago. But, it's like, I would imagine that's another big value that your company brings is the banking relationships.
Oh, exactly, right. And we're partnered with a lot of the big major MRB-friendly banks out there too. And with that partnership, what that basically means is instead of having to do a bank drop, where we're basically picking up the cash from the dispensary and then we got to go drive it to the bank, we're able to, with our bank partners, we're able to do a lot of that processing in-house for them. So it just reduces down the cost for the dispensary owner because we're only doing one trip from their location back to our location.
Right.
And then, yeah, as these guys get up and running, and they got a million things they got to check off to get their dispensary open, one of the things is selecting a great bank partner. And so, because we're already talking to them about moving the cash, we can make some of those introductions if they don't already have a bank secured as well.
Right,
so
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So how many? You said you've been working in. It sounds like to be multiple states at this point.
Yeah,
right?
30 states right now.
30 states.
Yeah,
God, that's a lot, right?
It's a lot of them.
It's a lot of them. So how many retail dispensaries is that within those 30 states?
It's so many of them. So we got about over, it's getting close to about 600 MRBs that we're working with right now. Okay, and that includes dispensaries, cultivators. We're also working with testing labs, because testing labs need product transportation as well too. So pretty much end-to-end cannabis ecosystem that we're working with across the country. Another great thing too, Florida's medical
Florida's
right now. They might go reco here if it gets approved.
Thought about that one.
Yeah, if it gets approved, right? So we're looking to expand into Florida here later in the year.
Well, I think beyond that, okay, because the industry is so dynamic. I've been in this space for a long time, seeing so many, just riding so many waves, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys thought about what it would be like to open up national chain logistics and transportation if there's any movement at the federal level? Have you guys thought about that?
We got a lot of things we're cooking, right? I'm kind of got one of those chef's hats in the kitchen cooking, and so we got a lot of things cooking now. So we'll see. That's a good idea, though. That's a good idea. That.
I'm just saying, get prepared for something, man.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, when those borders open up, who's going to run it all?
Yeah.
Are you going to let the big boys come in and do it? Yes.
Yeah.
Or serve it into a nice plate. I just thought about that.
Exactly.
Transportation and logistics is going to be extremely key, regarding this. And there's only so many people that can actually participate in it right now.
Exactly.
But having that sort of groundwork down would allow you guys to flourish at that time, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's all about as we do well, because we have a very intense focus on the customer experience. So as we continue to grow and do well, it's going to help the customers out, because the customer experience is our top priority. So and that's just from how we go to market, not just from proposal to once they become a customer, they have a dedicated account manager, and we always do these surveys to try to figure out, hey, listen, what are we doing right, and where do you think we can improve? So building out that network that you talked about and adding other type of products too. We're cooking up a lot of stuff in the kitchen, man. So we're just gonna keep adding to the plate.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
As we keep going out.
Well, has there any been big challenges that?
Yeah.
It's obviously high risk, right? I mean, you're working with someone else's product, someone else's cash, and then it's almost like it's out of their hands for a little bit, right? So any issues or challenges that have come up that in the last while that you guys were able to experience and overcome?
Well, I would say, we deal with a lot of issues that our dispensary partners deal with. We got to get through the licensing process too.
Sure.
To open up a new branch, to get a branch open, you got to get drivers hired, we got to get vehicles secured. It could be hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that. So with our dispensary partners, we work with 14 of the 15 largest MSOs. We're also working with a lot of small single state operators. Those small single state operators, they got to put their personal funds into the business, and it could take them 1 or 2 years to get operational and get up and running. We're dealing with a lot of the same things. When we open up a new branch, like for example with Florida, we put a lot of money into that. We might not be able to start running for a couple of months or maybe in a year. So that's one of the challenges that we're dealing with, the compliance side, the regulatory side, and then the startup cost side, which allows us to be able to be in the same, to be able to feel the pain of our
it's painful.
Of customers too.
Well, that painful experience actually is rewarding.
Yeah.
Once you get past the point of dealing with all that.
Yeah.
And the local dynamics too as well.
Right.
And it's just managing all those different pieces and getting them past that. But once you get up and running, you're good to go. Right?
Yeah. Once you get off the ground, and you kind of, I say we're building the rocket as we're flying it, right? So as we get the rocket flying, it's pretty simple. You just keep it steady, right?
You got to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, you got to keep the momentum going,
it's
right?
It's not like a plane flies and it just wants to stop. And I mean, if they don't keep that momentum going, and keep it going up, then it'll fall and crash, right?
Exactly.
So that's pretty awesome. I mean, so the future. What does the future look like for the company?
So the future looks like this. So we're going to continue to grow, continue to expand into these different markets, right? We're mainly right now in the Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, New England, going to Florida later this year, seeing what we can do on the West Coast. We're building out a big sales team, looking to continue to grow this company. We're growing rapidly right now, year over year, pretty much over 20%, 30% right now. So continuing just to build that out. And like I said, as we continue to grow, I think it's going to help the customer because we put that customer experience as the top priority. So our future is to continue to grow rapidly, also expand our product suite to where we're doing transportation right now. We also can do free ATM placement. We also can do cashless ATMs too, so other type of payment solutions at the point of sale. So just to be that one-stop vendor for a good number of services that a dispensary partner might need.
Right.
And then getting their feedback of what other products that we can help them out, either directly or help them secure with another great service partner that we might meet here at MJUnpacked,
So thank you so much, John, for joining the show.
It's good,
John
man.
Tucker, Telarius. My name is Zeta. This is Green Rush Revolution. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys.